Hey, Kate, thanks for taking the time to chat and share your story today.
No
Um,
worries.
we really appreciate it. So, as with some of the other interviews, the idea is to just share your story in your own words and really just put it out there for other people to connect with. So, if you
Mhm.
are ready to go, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself and what your life's like, and then what was life like before we started working together?
Okay, so I we live in the Yarra Valley in Victoria, Australia. I know you've got people all over the world watching. I've got two little kids. Betty is 4 and Sid is 5, and my husband is Bill. And I'm a stay-at-home mum. And Bill works pretty long hours during the week, so he's gone by maybe 5, 6 in the morning, and home at maybe 6:30 in the afternoon. And weekends he's home and available all weekend, which is amazing. So yeah, day-to-day life, home life is mostly me. So fitting everything into drop-offs and school drop-offs and yeah, all of that is what my life is like at the moment. We are just about to move to 2 acres of land with chickens and bees.
Amazing.
So that's all happening at the moment as well. So that's what life is currently like for us.
Awesome. And so, why don't you tell us a little bit about what was life like? Because we've only been training for a couple months now. I think it is,
Mhm.
maybe going on about 3 months. So tell us a little bit about how life was before, and then what's changed since starting to work together.
Okay, so I've always been a gym member or part of a coaching sort of scenario with gym work. I think when I was at uni many years ago, maybe 20 years ago, I started at the like the Carlton City Baths and had a program that I worked through. And then after that, I was a Fitness First member, so doing body combat and all the spin classes. And then I moved to a strength and conditioning group with my sister. And that was probably like the best training I've had up until now,
Where was
because it
that?
was measured, pardon?
Where was that?
That was with Tony in, it was like the church gym in, was it Elstonwick?
Elstonwick, because
So,
that's where we
yeah,
first met.
yeah, it was, yes. And so probably I was with Tony for a little bit before I met you, Tony and Ryan, and there was like the Ashy Bynes group of girls that would train, and then we sort of were in a strength and conditioning group, which and then sometimes we all trained together. So yeah, that was probably the first like measurable training that I've had, and that was probably yeah, where I really started enjoying lifting heavy weights, and all those sort of big movements like deadlifts and all. I hadn't done anything like that before. So gosh, I don't even know what year that was. Maybe 2013 onwards. And then I did that for ages. And then there was a Fit Mums group that I joined. Tony's partner Amy started once I was pregnant, and then I returned to training maybe 3 months postpartum after both my kids. They're pretty close in age, so I pretty much trained through one pregnancy and then went back to the gym, was pregnant again, trained through that pregnancy, and then after that, which takes us to lockdown, and then we had no gym. And that was really hard for me because it was like my 3 times a week routine that I would do. Um, yeah, and then I sort of had nothing, and that was really big because I was sort of a bit lost training on my own. So I joined Centre, which is the Chris Hemsworth app, which was really good. For an online app, it had lots of weights, HIIT workouts. There was Pilates, there was yoga, some really hardcore like I don't know. The guy who trains is called Darulk, and I think he trains firefighters. So his workouts were pretty hardcore. I didn't do too many of those. The kids would be like, "Not a Darulk workout. They're too hard." So they became like part of our family. All those trainers. Every morning, the kids would be like, "Who's on the TV today?" Um, and it really served its purpose. It was a variety of workouts, but then again, nothing measurable. So I was still feeling a bit lost. Um, I wasn't really getting any stronger, although I was training every weekday. It was part of the routine. I would get up either before kinder at 6 o'clock while the kids were sleeping and try and get it done then. So that routine and rhythm of doing exercise each day has been a part of my life for a really long time.
Wonderful.
Yes. So then probably towards the end of last year, I was just feeling a bit down, a bit low. I think my hormones are changing. I was losing a lot of hair. I was the day-to-day monotony of being with two little kids really was getting me down. So I don't know, normally change comes for me after a big breakdown of some sort, not a big breakdown, but an emotional breakdown. So Bill and I sat down and worked out what we could do to change things. I consulted my naturopath. She supplied me with lots of herbs and things to help my body with whatever it's sort of going through. And then I called you to help with all the rest of it. And it's probably been, I don't know, did we start at the start of January? So 3 months?
Yeah, I think it was the end of the first week of January.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's been amazing. I'm very driven by routine, also improvement. And so each week, I think I've messaged you on those heavy weeks, like, oh my goodness, like this wasn't even heavy enough. This is fantastic. I've bought a set of weights and then I had to get more weights. So I feel like my body is just remembering how strong it used to be 6 years ago before I was pregnant, maybe even a little bit longer. Yeah, and it feels really good to feel strong again.
And you're doing it from home.
Yes.
You know, there's you don't need a lot of fancy equipment, and we're seeing great progress in this time too. And I'm pretty stoked that you've gotten more weights and implements to use from home. And it's fun to see your workout videos in the living room with your kids and Bill in the background. Like,
yeah,
it's good. It sets a good precedence for the kids and lets people know that you don't need anything fancy to get strong.
no. And I actually, in hindsight, probably wish that I had done it a bit earlier. I guess I didn't really know what I thought I was doing online training. I didn't really know what your program, involved. I didn't really realize it would be so personalized. I guess my assumption was that, you would set a program and I would do it. I mean, I guess that is what you were doing, but I didn't realize it was so involved. There's, all the check-ins and the comments. I didn't, realize the depth and detail that the planning, I didn't realize it would be like that. So yes, I do wish I had done this earlier, but that's okay.
How do you feel about all that interaction?
I really like it. It's like, I mean, it's far better than going to a gym, I think, because I mean, now I have all the equipment here. I don't actually have to leave. I can do it in my own time. I don't have to make a special trip anywhere. That part of it is really good. But from the coaching side of things, you're watching the videos that I send into you. The feedback it's not instant, but it's, same day. And then I can think about it again for my next workout. So whether to, hinge more or change the direction of my arms or, to improve it or, all that feedback is so detailed. It's just like having a personal trainer in the gym, but rather than changing it for the next set, it's for the next week. But that delay doesn't seem to, all the other benefits of the program outweigh that immediate feedback because it essentially is immediate. Yeah, it's so good. Like I love knowing where we're headed and that, it gets heavier, and then I, max out and feel all wobbly and then go back down again. And then the program changes. And I think I'm only on my second program change, but yeah, I really, really like it. I don't love hauling all the weights inside. So when we move house, I think I'll keep them outside because having a pile of 20-kilo weights sitting there to move back outside after I've used them is not that much fun.
That's just part of the workout.
Okay.
It's the warm up.
Yeah, that's right. We're also having 2 house inspections a week, so there's a lot of hefting.
Yeah, I'm sure you're going to be plenty done with the hefting when you move.
I
And just,
am.
yeah,
Yes.
we'll figure out how to get you a dedicated training space in your new home.
Yep.
So, what has been your favorite part of the process?
Oh, getting strong has been my favorite part so far, and just
Yes.
feeling I don't know, really capable of lifting heavy again. I guess after having two children, you maybe I kind of got lost in that monotony of motherhood, and I don't know, my whole identity has changed, um, which is sad and good as well at the same time. But feeling strong again and having something just for myself is such a good feeling. So that part has been really good.
Amazing.
Um, yes, having someone that is really kind to make contact with each week makes a huge difference. If we had a weekend where we didn't do much at all, we kind of just slept and rested and went out and had a really big night and had a really fun time. But your response to that was, mums and dads need to do this. And that was so nice to hear. Sometimes I'm hesitant to share things that I haven't done so well, but your response is always, I don't know how you manage to balance the pushing and the gentle encouragement, but whatever you've said to me has always felt really good at that particular time. And sometimes I do need a little bit of a push, but sometimes that gentleness and understanding and compassion, I guess, is very well received.
Thank you. I appreciate hearing that. And my goal is always to get you to your goal. And so it's about working with you and figuring out what works best for you.
Mhm.
And that's what's most important.
Yep.
So, what would you say to someone who might need a similar type of support or structure or a helping hand, but doesn't know where to go, where to look, who to trust? Because we all know there's a million coaches and PTs and influencers out there. So, what advice would you give them?
I guess I tried a few online things like following different accounts, and it for me it has to be someone that's kind of aligned with maybe your lifestyle choices. Um, I don't have a life like Chris Hemsworth. So his program was really good, but it's kind of lacked a bit of depth. And I don't know, there's lots of things you do in your life which I value also, like planting my own vegetables, letting kids run wild and free outside, spending a lot of time outdoors. I know family time is really important to you. Um, you have a wife, like all these things. Your life, in many ways, is similar to mine. So I guess you understand what my life is like, what it's like having little children, what it's like to be married, what it's like to live in the country. Um, So that is why I was drawn to you. And I know that you're a good trainer because you have trained me before. Um, I follow your account. It's like you're always striving to do better, learn more, live a sustainable life. So I feel like in a lot of ways our values are aligned,
For sure.
which matched. We matched. Hello, my daughter's here with all her babies. So if someone was looking for something, I guess my advice would be find someone that feels like a good fit. Um, if you're intrigued in what they're posting and it feels like something that would suit your life, then follow it that way. I guess I wish maybe I'd known a bit more about your programming and what that was like. Um, uh, I wish I'd known it was more detailed and maybe more personal. Maybe that would have pushed me to go a bit sooner, if
Yeah,
that
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that.
So I knew that what your life looked like, and that you're having really good results, but that online training was a bit of a mystery to me. So I thought I was doing it, but um, yes, yours is much more tailored to me and yeah, and what I want to achieve. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Because my whole
Yeah.
goal is to try and be a personal trainer who's in your pocket.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's
And I
about
guess
that
I just
personal experience.
yeah. And I guess I just didn't really know what that was like. And I guess there is a bit of vulnerability too. Like I am sharing a lot of things with you. Um, and sometimes that can feel a bit big and scary, but Yeah, it is so personal, it is so close, and that is well, that's really sweet. It is, we've got party hats on babies. It's a far bigger whole complete package than what I was expecting it to be. So yes, my advice would be find someone that aligns with what your life is like, that would feel like a good fit and that you can confidently share things with. And yeah, that for you, that is me, and that feels really good. You can
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
yes, that's okay.
Now, last thing, don't want to take up too much of
Mhm.
your day, but share some words of wisdom. In your journey, in your experiences so far, what wisdom can you share to the world at large?
Wisdom. Oh, I don't know. We only get one shot at this life. So yeah, I think we should make it as full and as beautiful and as happy um, as we can. And for
Love
me,
it.
that is, yeah, growing my own things, being strong, and having a full heart.
That's beautiful stuff, Kate. All right.
Mm.
We'll leave it there. Thank you so much for taking the time. Um, and yeah, just enjoy your day
Thank you.
and
You
keep
too.
getting strong.
Yeah, thanks. That's the plan.